Are you a pro wrestling fan? Then odds are at some point in your life, you were a backyard wrestler. In this new series, I'm going to take you through how we came from this to this. It's a long story, covering nearly 2 decades. But if you're a nostalgic person missing the backyard days of yesteryear and a simpler time of the 90s and early 2000s, this is the story for you. This is Backyard Wrestling Cinema. Welcome to Backyard Wrestling Cinema Season 3, Episode 3. On our last episode, we tested out a tag team main event, and it was my way to test the waters to see if we could make tag titles work in our backyard wrestling company. In the end, I was convinced we could do it. It was the summer of 2002. The world was different. Some of us had cell phones, but it was for calling. Nobody texted. There was no true internet on your phone. You sat around all day and you watched the other matches. As helpful as these little boxes are sometimes, I sometimes wish we could do away with them and go back to a time without them. It helps you be present a little bit more. And I think that's the one thing missing, especially in real wrestling locker rooms nowadays. But we're not here to talk about that. It was our very first show with Christian Greed. For years, we had counted behind the cameras for all our referees, and that was basically how we did referees outside of doing an occasional special guest referee. Evan was also on public access. He ran a horror host show called The Haunted Theater, and he portrayed a character called Halloween Jack. In fact, he still runs a horror host channel on Roku with all different horror hosts from across the country.
Hello, kiddies. As I promised you, standing behind me, we have some of the wrestlers from B4W.
Evan was a legitimate referee who was trained and even appeared in early ECW as Christian Greed. And he wanted to come in, and my attitude was, well, this guy's coming in to shoot on us, but there's way more of us than there are of him, so let's see what he could do. But I think in the end, we were just happy to have somebody who was an actual professional to see what we can learn from him, and we were even more excited that he wanted to be a part of the show. The first match we filmed was Rico DMF versus Cobain, who was the US champion.
Cobain, moonsault, big moonsault. Can he get the pin? 1, 2, oh, kick out.
Get it in.
Rico's up top.
Crowd!
Oh, Rico hits the crowd.
And since it was our very first match with a real referee, we immediately did a ref bump. We wasted 0 time with that one. In the end, the ref was down and Rico had the match won. As he complained to the referee, Cobain was able to get the win and retain the US title.
Down 3. Rico should have this match won.
Told you I was gonna win.
I think Rico thinks he does have this match won.
Woo!
The referee saying no. Rico can't see him, so he ain't paying attention. An argument with the ref. Cobain from behind, off the ropes. Oh! Tailgate in the face. 1, 2, 3, and Cobain retains the U.S. title.
And this was all done with purpose looking back, because we were building to a program with Rico DMF and Christian Greed, and they would eventually work a match for B4W. TLD, who is now the commissioner, did a promo where he took credit for bringing Christian Greed in.
Out here is my new referee here for the B4W because I'm tired of these disqualifications using chairs.
And at the same time, Enigma, who was part of the reason we changed into our name B4W, storyline-wise, made his return. Enigma versus Rico versus Bobby Bo was up next.
Hey, Bobby Bo, getting things started already. Rico getting out of the ring.
Alright, there you go.
This best is not going to
This time they're going to take a crowd. That's why I hired him.
Greed knocked out Rico, continuing their angle from earlier, and TLD accidentally cost Enigma the match, setting up a planned feud between Enigma and TLD.
No. Oh! No. Hit him. Right now. Hit him.
The ref does the TLD thing.
TLD defended the TV title against me, and he got the win.
He left it.
Oh!
Into the wall winder. He could have it, folks. 1, 2, 3. And oh my God, Bobby Bo is into.
The tag titles were on the line. In a decision match coming up next, it was me and my bodyguard, Bobby Bo, against TJ Money and his lackey, Slug, who was our first world champion, but had been unreliable in recent years. My favorite part of watching this match back and preparing for this episode was hearing the ice cream truck in the background.
You don't need weapons. All right. You don't need weapons.
I just miss those small things about summer and being young like that. In this match, TJ Money was doing his shtick where he kind of played wrestler, doing like the people's elbow, and I hated that shit, and so many of us did. So during the match, I tried to actually stop it, but he just no-sold it and just kept doing what he was doing.
The people's money! Elbow! Oh, and he missed it! Oh, and he nailed it sloppily anyway!
I always hated it because people already thought we were all a bunch of marks to begin with, and that just made us look worse, in my opinion. But in the end, we were young kids, pretending to be wrestlers. After all was said and done, TJ Money and Slug won the tag titles. TJ Money was also the world champion, and the angle was that they accidentally won it.
Now the F5 on iPhone. This match is over, folks. Oh, but Slug's celebrating early. Congratulating you. A little too early. And now he's up. What are we going to see? The ref is even confused. Oh! Just nailed the left step twice. 1, 2, 3. Oh my God! He just like he just won himself the match. And you're winning.
The idea was that it would create tension between TJ Money and his actual partner, Mr. Benjamin's, down into the future. Tommy Thunder took on Homeboy Joe Slice, and he dressed like me for this one because myself and Tommy Thunder were going to set up a feud.
Brian! I'm the owner! I've never seen our nickel on this mistaken!
It was a last-minute idea, and in the end, Bo caused a distraction, something we didn't used to have to do to distract a referee. We never had refs before this day. Then I came out and cost Tommy Thunder the match.
Oh, Denver Street.
Oh!
Denver Street.
Oh, just pummeled him with that kendo stick.
And
The Singapore cane over his head and his side. Now your feet. Ah, crap! The old crap! 1, 2, 3. And you're winning! Homeboy, Joe!
We were setting up all these new matches and new angles, and it was a really exciting time for us. But looking back on these episodes, I can't help but think, what a great childhood and how lucky we all were to kind of live in this bubble and live in this world of this small town USA in the middle of central New Jersey. It was a special time. And that's all for this week. We'll see you next time right here on Backyard Wrestling Cinema.
Oh! He's going for the spinning senton hole!
mocking Mr. Benjamin.
It's on. Change. Come on, get me in the ring, guys.
Sunset flip. 1,